All right, I'm going to turn this jacket into a puffy jacket. So, um, in your file, I already uploaded a puffy material. We're going to choose this and we're going to apply it to all of our pieces. So you'll notice in the puffy fabric that I have two materials. I have the red nylon, which is what will be visible, and it has sort of a sheen to it to kind of look like a puffy jacket material. And then the puffy jacket material here oops, is what we're actually using the physics of, right? We see this little yellow dot. That's the physics. So you'll see in the physics, the only thing that's really different is the thickness is very thick, so that's going to give it that sort of quilted, you know, down stuffed look. And then this puffy firmness is going to determine how soft or firm that puffy texture appears or drapes. So I'm going to go ahead and assign this to my sleeves. You'll see as I assign this, it's going to ask me to redress some of these pieces. So because this puffy feature has kind of its own draping elements, it has to sort of be redressed. Okay, so I'm applying this to the bottom yokes of my front and back, below my yokes. I'm not applying to my pockets yet, and I will sort of explain why later. Even though this looks like it's redressing, you may want to redress it yourself, because when you just hit dress, it kind of does this weird clinging thing where it kind of looks like it's shrink wrapped to the body. So sometimes I find if you just re-prepare the whole thing and dress it, that sometimes just will get you there faster. Okay. So while he's redressing, I want to first make a material that I can use for my yoke. So because I want it to be puffy, but I want to use a different color. So I'm going to choose this fabric, click the hamburger, and say clone group. I'm going to then make sure I'm on the red part of the fabric group. I'm going to choose the swatch, and I'm just going to change the color. I'm going to turn it into this sort of mustard yellow. And then I'm going to assign that above my cut marks on my yokes. Okay, remember my cut marks are there to allow me to have color blocking without actually separating my pieces yet, which is helpful as you see we're manipulating fit before or after this. So it'll be easier to do that when our pieces aren't split. Okay, so now I want to apply this puffy material without the quilting, without the puffing, on the pockets. So what I'm going to do is clone this original puffy material, and I'm going to go into this one, into the puffy jacket, the physics part of the group, material group, and I'm going to change the thickness back down to like 2 and turn off the puffy. Okay, I'm going to assign this to the pockets, and then my welts down here as well. Okay, so these have that same sheen, but I don't get that extra volume because I just wouldn't have it there. Okay, and then for the flaps, I want them to mimic the yoke, so I'm going to actually clone the yoke fabric and make sure I'm in puffy jacket and physics, and do the same thing I just did on the red. And I'm going to assign these to the flaps. Okay, and then I just noticed my flaps are actually a tiny bit below my yoke seam. I don't want to see that red there. So once I've done that, I'm just redressing. All right. The next thing I'm going to do is make my quilting lines. So to do this, I am going to turn my trace changes off. I'm going to take my yoke seams, okay? In this sketch, I had asked for a 4-inch quilting distance between quilting stitches. Okay, so I'm going to take these yoke seams. I'm going to say clone by offset, center Y4, and I'm going to say 5 copies. Okay, so it's just going to make 5 new internal lines spaced 4 inches apart, starting from my yoke seam. All right, I'm reselecting all of them and I'm going to turn the cut mark off. I don't need them to be seams or color blocked. And then under simulation properties, I'm going to choose the Puffy feature. I don't need to change any of these values or drop downs. And then I'm just going to hit update 3D so that I can see this these kind of quilting indentions show up on my 3D body. I'm going to do the same thing on my sleeve. I'm going to start at this bicep line, and I'm going to say clone by offset, center. This time I'm going in the X direction, and then negative. So I'm going to say -4, and I'm thinking I only need 4 copies. I'm going to select all of these and actually my bicep line. I'm going to extend shrink to edges just so that they sit in there. And I'm going to turn Puffy on. Okay, and then I also want one at my sleeve cap, so I'm going to take this top line and I'm going to clone by offset, center X4, just 1 copy, and click apply. I'm going to update 3D, and I should see all of my quilting lines appear, and that is how we get a simple puffy jacket in 3D. Okay, thanks, bye.